Now when you see these arpeggios, not only are they going to serve you in your single note work, but you're going to be able to build chord voicings. Because remember, any combination of these four tones are going to outline and establish a dominant seventh chord. So when you practice these, in addition to playing them as single note groups, make sure you start playing them all these different combinations. Any combination of the tones. That's really good because it visually helps you see things in kind of an isolated manner on the fingerboard. You're not seeing things through a fingering. I can't stress that enough. All right, now we're going to practice some arpeggio patterns, melodic patterns, for your single note work. If you play the arpeggio, I'm going to play it up in this 12th position because that way you won't have this open string that kind of looks confusing. If you just go up the arpeggio, 3, 5, flat 7, 1, and I suggest you actually sing the scale tones. Go like 3, 5, flat 7, 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 1. And if you want to sing it, E is 3, G is 5, B flat's a flat 7, C is a 1, and you just drill that way because you're associating the letter name with the scale degree with the pitch. And that's going to help you link ideas you hear in your head to locations on the fingerboard. So when you just go up or down the arpeggio, it's pretty predictable, right? It's no different than just going up and down minor pentatonic scales or whatever scales. So let's just look at a way to establish an interesting pattern. Simply play a tone in the arpeggio, and we'll start with the 5th, and then go down one note. That's your motif. So we're going to move that through the arpeggio. You could do the same thing descending. We would simply play a tone in the arpeggio and go up one. You'll have some instances where you have to play some finger rolls, either ascending or descending finger rolls. And I will tab out these arpeggio patterns. So that's the first little melodic pattern, both ascending and descending forms. Let's practice playing a 3-note pattern. You could view it as a triplet pattern if you're playing over a groove, or if this is a triplet groove, or if you're doing 16th note funk groove, it's simply a hemiola type group where you have 3 notes. So that's descending, ascending. And what that does is it gives you some tools to get going. Now if you play too much of it, it's pretty predictable. I have a course out called Melodic Patterns, so it's the same idea. You have to use these judiciously. Too much gets kind of predictable. But now notice what we did. If we descended, we used a descending pattern or motif. Well, I don't like to make things the same direction, so let's play an ascending pattern or motif. To me, that's a little more interesting. Or if I'm ascending through the pattern, I will use a descending motif. Now you're going to run into some tricky fingerings there. In cases like right there, where I have to go from the G over to the E. Now you can use a roll. You have to be careful. You can't just barp because you might get that B natural sound in there. So you have to roll, or you might use reach over and use 1 finger per note fingerings. The tablature will show you where the notes are. It isn't going to show you how to finger it. So I suggest you practice some different fingerings. And make sure you're always using fragments of these, just a little bit. You see, I actually just used some, but it didn't really sound like that big, long, drawn-out melodic pattern from low to high or high to low, encompassing the entire position. Okay, so those are some melodic patterns, and there are obviously hundreds and thousands of these melodic patterns because it's just math, permutations. So I suggest after you learn the arpeggio, as soon as possible, get into some melodic patterns. You've got pedal tone, where you're pedaling a note, repeating it. So I could go on and on with this. And little commercial here, I suggest you get my melodic patterns series because then you can apply those same principles to the arpeggios. I applied them to the major arpeggio in volume 1 of that. So with this, you're just simply adding in the flatted 7th. And don't forget, you could do 4-note grooves. On and on, take a rhythmic grouping, apply it, juggle the notes around different ways, a lot of different things you can do. So this is something for you to start working on before we move to the next area. Master the chord form with the arpeggio. I don't expect you to master the melodic patterns, just get a handle on a couple of them because later on, halfway through this, we're going to start playing over the jam tracks. In our next lesson, we're going to move up to the next chord form in our CAGED dominant series.